Asia Pop 40.
Hello, I'm Joey. Today we're going to have a chat with one of our favorites from around the world, and it's going to be Josephine and Anthony of Oh Wonder. Hello, guys.
Woo! Hey, what's up?
Hey, Joey, how are you?
I am very well. How are you guys in the UK?
We're good. The sun is out. We can't complain.
Nice.
We're all good.
Before we get started talking about music, guys, I've only just one question at the top of my head. How is Margot, and how old is she now?
Margot is good. We almost lost her last night. She ran away.
What?
Yeah, it's never happened before, but we were working in our coffee shop and we didn't realize the door was open, and about 5 minutes later Anthony looked around and was like, "Where's Margot?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's gone."
And she'd ran. Ironically, she'd run to the local pub.
Yeah, in search of a drink. And
you taught her well.
Some unsuspecting people were like carrying her awkwardly and were like, "Is anyone looking for a dog?" We were like, "There she is."
Gosh.
And then they recognized us, which was even worse because they were like, "Are you guys in No Wonder?" And we were like, "Oh no, we're such
We look
bad dog parents."
I do see that a lot of your interview videos, you have like Anthony having to walk off halfway because she's either feasting on a whole chicken or digging into the bread basket.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's always something. I'm just looking. I'm looking in the kitchen now, and we're safe.
Yeah,
She's fine.
she ate a whole pan of chocolate yesterday as well. She's really going for it.
Well, I mean, that's the way they're supposed to be. She's like just a little bit over a year old.
She's
No,
three.
She's 3 now. Oh my gosh.
Old. She's
so
equivalent
old.
to 21
I
in
know.
dog years.
I know, she's off to university or something.
Oh no, a little separation anxiety for the mom and dad. Okay, finally, let's talk about your musical baby. So a new album out. It's called 2 to Break, correct?
Yeah, or 22 Break. We don't know how you pronounce it, so it's just
Both are correct.
both are correct.
You guys put a lot of sort of lifestyle noises and turned them into your production in this album. Now, was that intentional?
Yeah, there's kind of loads of organic.
Lots of organic sounds that we kind of,
Sounds.
the start of a lot of songs is kind of, well, the first song, Baby, we literally pressed record on Josie and Josephine, and under the desk here where we are now was Margot, and her chain is like a metallic
collar.
sound. She moved, and she's
In the
always
first
moving around the
bar.
studio.
But when I now listen to it, I'm like, "Oh, Margot's here," because
We
it
know that
sounds like
sound.
her. And the trouble is, like, because it was a live take, like we can't re-record it, so it's just in there.
There's a lot of those moments on the album that kind of have to be there because it's organic, like you said, and it happened in the moment, so we shouldn't get rid of it.
I love that. So you're grooming Margot into, first off, a pub frequenter, and then secondly, someone who can make music along with you.
I know, right? Co-writer. Yeah.
You're going to have to start crediting her.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give her cut pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do feel like that you do bring us into your life with this album, with those, random sounds from day-to-day lives. But it's a brutally honest album. I read on your Twitter that you said this is one that took you through your breakup, your almost breakup. Now, is that true?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
sadly. I wish it was some sort of really clever marketing ploy, but it would be far easier to talk about. But yeah, we had a really tough kind of year last year. We were on tour. We were 5 dates into a big world tour, and our bodies were pumped full of adrenaline, and we were really excited to kind of be touring out our third album around the world. And it was difficult for so many people, but for us, the difficulty came in just being together and having no purpose, I suppose, which is something we've never done in our relationship. We've never just hung out as boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we found it a little bit difficult, to be honest, because we love our job so much and we get so much from being in No Wonder and making music. And it was like, well, what do we do if we don't have that? And then we were like, what happens when we're 80 and we're not in No Wonder anymore? Like, are we going to have anything in common? What are we going to do? And we started asking all these questions. And the way we answered them was to come into the studio at the end of our garden and write. And I'm kind of realizing that music is almost like our first language. It feels like we are most authentic and most honest, and it's like when you dream in your first language.
It's like our own secret language as well.
Yeah, and then English and or speaking language is just kind of a second language where you're articulate, but you're not really talking about how you really feel.
It's not expressive, I guess.
Yeah, it's not expressive. That's exactly it. So I guess music is our shared language and where we found common ground throughout all of this.
That is interesting, isn't it? I think during the pandemic, a lot of couples had to be very introspective about their relationships. And the funny thing is, when you spend so much time with each other, you realize how much you don't communicate even though you're talking to each other every day.
Yeah, sometimes it can just be the day-to-day stuff. Like, what we have for dinner, and
That's
it's not
really
actually
insightful. Yeah.
it's not the real stuff that actually brings us together and makes you feel closer, and the reason you got together in the first place. Often those things are forgotten about in those moments. So we kind of lifted the hood on all that and said, okay, we're going to jump in and see if we can fix this thing.
Well, that's very interesting. You lifted the hood, and the way to patch things up was through music, which is what you guys have always done.
Yeah.
Which was the first song to start patching things up? Like, which was the first idea?
As a positive turning point kind of thing.
No, it was like the first
First
song.
It might have been 22 Break.
Yeah, maybe it was 22 Break. Yeah. I think all of the angry ones came first.
Well,
I think it's really interesting when you look back with hindsight at the emotion of something like a breakup or whatever, and it kind of lasted like a good few months. It was like, I don't know, 6 months, maybe more, 8 months, and all the angry songs I think were written first.
Of course.
And there's kind of references to like venom and poison and snakes, and you're like, you just have lots of feelings. And then then it moves on to the really introspective ones. So songs like Baby, where you're then just sat being like, what happens if I leave?
Yeah.
You're in like the cold reality of like, actually practically what does it look like if we broke up? And then I think there are kind of the more positive ones that we wrote towards the end, which are less angry and have less pain, but you're like, maybe there's a glimmer of something here, maybe we can work on it.
And that's the kind of the track listing of the album has that as well. You kind of going through darkness, you're occasionally pulled out of it, but by the end of the album there's some sense of hope to kind of
got some resolution at the end. So now that you have 2 albums to work with for your live shows, how do you choose your set list?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's that thing, and we don't know because we're also like we've been in lockdown. We haven't really spoken to fans for a while. We don't even know what people are listening to really, like the fan favorites. It's always that surprising thing when people are like, oh, I love that song. You're like, really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Basically, all our shows are just going to be 4.5 hours long from this point. So.
Just do everything.
Yeah, do everything.
There'll be like a meal break. Everyone will kind of have a sandwich. Come back for the second half.
How do you guys take breaks if that's the case? I guess you go take turns.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just
That's
tag
what we
team
should
in and
do.
out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
perfect. Maybe use some holograms or whatever.
It's going to be a tough one because this is such an emotional and bare album.
Yeah, it'll be strange performing it. We performed it once, like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's an odd feeling to be the
I had a
person
bit
singing
of a
the words.
cry. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Because you're going through all the feelings of those songs again. I guess because when you make an album, you only sing the vocal once and then it's done. You don't have to think about it again.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really sung those songs. I've listened to them a lot, but I haven't sung them. And there's something very powerful about the act of saying those words again to the person you've written them about in front of a load of strangers. It's pretty weird.
That's your job, eh? That's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of someone like a transcript of a therapy session at couples therapy, and it's like doing like a big presentation and you're like, I'm just going to read the transcript of my therapy session out to you.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's weird. It's cool though.
I think you guys need to invest in a couch for your future shows.
Yeah, I think so. Be simple to tour. No musicians, just a couch.
We do hope that you can come to Taiwan. I know you have locked in some dates in Asia, and we can't wait to see this performance and to see what you will pull into the set list. Now, everybody go listen to 22 Break or 22 Break. But at the very end of this conversation, like I promised you, Josephine and Anthony, I'm going to ask you 3 trivia questions. Are you ready?
Woo! Okay, we're ready.
The first question I actually asked you last year, so I wonder if you remember this. The average human body contains how many pints of blood?
Damn it, why did I not remember?
I'm going to say
53. No, that's so many. Sorry, that's so much blood. That's so much blood.
that is a lot of blood.
That's so much blood.
I'm going to say...
Sorry, I'm going to say 4.
I'm going to say 8.
9 to 10. So we got Anthony. Okay. Next one. What is Queen Elizabeth's favorite breed of dog?
Oh, corgi.
Corgi.
Very good.
Woo!
Yeah, you should know that one.
We got that one.
Okay. last one. In what year did the famous English duo Oh Wonder form and release their first single?
2014.
Very good. That is the last song in this album, and it's a song that sort of got you to come to full circle, and we're going to play that one for our listeners. Today we had Josephine and Anthony. Thank you so much for taking our interview.
Thank you so much for having us.
you.
You're awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks,
Joey.
What's up, Asia? I'm Josephine.
And I'm Anthony.
And we are Oh Wonder.
And you are listening to
Asia Pop 40.
Asia Pop 40.